It's week 2 of the NFL, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Steelers and the Browns. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
We are just a stone's throw from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it is rocking and rolling here at Huntington Bank Field in downtown Cleveland. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him.
And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. And now on the heels of the pick 6, here's their offense on the field sooner than intended as they'll try to make it 8-0. Sliding out of the pocket. That's caught. And it's very quickly 8-0. Tell you what, they're not messing around. You get the quick touchdown, and then you go for 2 to go up 8-0 here on the road.
In a sense, they hit them with a big shot right away. You don't throw a jab after you throw the haymaker, right? Go ahead and go for 2. They did. They're in control.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
You look at this Steeler defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
So the Steelers now in great shape to begin their initial possession. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
From the gun, here's Fields. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Don't jump. Ready? Set out.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Here we go.
Again, it's Harris. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
And he is in to make it 16-0. I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Cleveland offense making their way out. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A shotgun snap for Watson. He'll get this complete to the rookie first-round pick. He's to the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay, because it says something like this. I got this many seconds to find the target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this 1st down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Fields. He finds Pickens over the middle. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. The Steelers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And right now, they're probably asking, hey, who did we offend in the scheduling office? Back-to-back road games to start the season.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll bet someone called the league office to protest, but sometimes it just shakes out that way. But if they can get out of this with a split, knowing they'll get those home games later in the season, it could be quite an advantage for them if they take care of business now.
Got an open man, it's Pickens. And down inside the 15 he goes. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Harris running straight ahead. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are able to stretch out their lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Watson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And all the way down to the 35. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Reset.
Now it's Watson. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Back to throw, Watson. Touchdown, Browns! David Njoku, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns get a bit closer.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will get them one closer. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Fields. Completes this one to Pickens. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
Fields now to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Open man there is Darnell Washington. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff up the middle. Nixon, and he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Here we go.
Fields. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he will have a Steelers 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Out. Here we go, son.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Here we go. Right.
Here's Fields. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Here we go, son.
Now it's Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Fields rolling to his right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Justin Fields, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
It's complete, and this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Watson now to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And trouble trying the middle here. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. That's pulled in at the 32. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here. 1st and 10. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, He ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another catch for him there, and the numbers starting to stack up a bit. He's closing in already on a 100-yard game. We're still in the first half. A shotgun snap, Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And he's got it. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Here we go. All right.
Again, Fields. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Justin Fields in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. A final shot before the break. Fields. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's going to be out of bounds across the 50. Great return. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was the Ravens who get the win at home. Lamar Jackson, 3 touchdown passes as his guys moved to 2-0 on the young season. From there, we moved to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Joe Mixon, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting LA Rams. 28-17, your final score. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both of these coaching staffs feverishly making their final plans for the second half. One of these two teams is going to get their first win. And for the call, let's kick it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Oh, a good-looking return setup here. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And out of bounds finally, but not before getting it way across the 50 inside the 25.
What a way to start the second half. These guys are showing no signs of letting up. They have a chance to take a decided advantage with this possession.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they've pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. To throw is Fields. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. On the give, this is Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Steelers have opened the lead up to 30.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2.
Here we go.
Fields trying to throw for it. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Browns offense and their quarterback Deshaun Watson set to take over once more. The Browns drive about to get started.
Set. Line up, go.
Watson. Quick slant, Dotson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Set. Line up, go.
Now Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. To throw is Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Out of the gun, Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Steelers' offense and running back Najee Harris set to take over once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Well, this defense just has not been able to keep him under wraps. That's now 10 catches for him in the ball game.
Press, don't strike. Don't jump.
They hand this off to Harris. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Fields. Over the middle, it's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. You take a look at his receiving numbers so far. He's been terrific. Up over 100 yards now for the game. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
Here we go.
Now Harris. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Here we go, son.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing middle, and it's complete. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
Here's Harris. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here we go.
Here's Fields. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right because this team felt like they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything went wrong in game 1. They took care of business with it in game 2.
Personally, I'd rather see them kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
To try again after the sack. Watson under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Alex Highsmith making the nice play and getting the sack.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting the
and the pressure gets to him again. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
Here's Austin. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. George Pickens back out now with the rest of the offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They run with Harris, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Fields.
Complete to Austin here over the middle. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Fields.
He finds Pickens over the middle.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Here we go.
From the 30 on 2nd down.
Fields. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning.
A good pickup there, a 22. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
Here we go.
A give to Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Here we go.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Harris is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. They'll roll him out right. They are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
Now Austin.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Steelers offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Got an open man. It's Pickens.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Here we go, slide.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Sliding out of the pocket.
Finding Pickens for another catch.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you.
And now Watson throws another interception.
Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Steelers, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they'll get another road test now.